Do you have a meme for today?
I have so many. You had to pick a meme today. So the one that I picked for today, because, pre-read, spoiler free, whatever. So Kelsier from Fortnite. Brandon Sanderson is friends with Donald Muster, who at the time was the director and story lead for the video game Fortnite. In May 2021, Fortnite added a skin for Kelsier, which just blew everyone's mind because there's not a whole lot of crossover between the demographics.
Okay.
And there were items like hemalurgic spikes and volcanic glass daggers. This led to a whole bunch of shit posts, with references to, Kelsier from Fortnite, or simply Kelsier Fortnite, like that was his name, rather than Kelsier, or the Survivor of Hatson or any of his other titles. Similar shit posts would, pretend that, Brando ripped Kelsier off from Fortnite, as if Fortnite's entire business model didn't include crossover events with other, intellectual property, yada, 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 whatever. So for a while, it was a trend to make what I'm hoping was AI generated, but I suspect was not, leaked movie scripts for Mistborn adaptation or a Stormlight adaptation. And invariably, you would see characters like Kelsier Fortnite or Mistbones, and it was basically the same tired old meme. Honestly, I'm kind of glad this one died off, but now you know.
Mistbones?
Mistbones.
Is that supposed to be a sexual reference?
I have no clue. I don't care. But, and they would always try to work in the names of as many books into the script as they could. It's like, oh boy, we well of Ascension, that final empire, and it was Hero of Ages. There's always another secret history. Anyway, I'm glad that one died off.
I don't know. That's the first one that's really made me laugh, I think.
God damn it. Hello and welcome to Cosmere Casual, your casual reader's guide for the Cosmere Curious. I'm your co-host and hater, Nick Gorman.
And I'm your co-host, AJ Gorman.
Today is our pre-read episode for the novella, Mistborn Secret History. So this is spoiler-free. Yeah, this is our spoiler-free episode.
As much as we possibly can be with still telling you about the book.
Yeah, and I think, kind of the way I see this episode going is we'll talk a little bit about, the publication info for Secret History and like where the reading order where it really fits with Mistborn, because it's not in the main series. Then we'll talk a little bit about the premise and I think just a spoiler-free review before we wrap it up with things that you should maybe read first to catch all the details or
yeah.
I'd
like to kind of start off by saying that I read this one.
Yes.
And everything went over my head the first time.
Well, did you read this one before? When did you read this one the first time?
When did this come out?
I don't know. I know we read it. The first time I read it was part of Arcanum Unbounded. So what's that? 2014-ish. It came out around the same time as The Bands of Mourning, which is the third book in Era 2.
I think I read it when it came out then.
Really?
I don't know. I was in this house. I was in this house when we read it.
Yeah.
When I read it for the first time.
Yeah. When it was published in January 26, 2016, according to Google.
Probably not 2016.
Yeah.
Definitely not 2016.
Yeah, I was about to say, because we weren't even in the state in 2016.
No? Okay. Definitely not 2016. Anyways.
Yeah.
Everything went over my head.
That's fair.
I feel like even the second time around reading most of Brandon's stuff, things still go over my head. But this time, I feel like I actually kind of understood things.
That's like people get into like really heated arguments online about reading order. And it's
no
like, really?
Shit, really?
Yeah, really? Oh my God. But I mean, really to me, and I think to you too, like the only right reading order is just over and over again, right?
Yes.
Because he's got such a, Brandon Sanderson has such a great eye for foreshadowing and playing those long details out. Like, I think of this most particularly in Stormlight Archive, where like you get information in books 2 and 3 and 4 and presumably 5 that'll make you just recontextualize so much of the things you read and like thought you understood in book 1, right?
And that's a big warning for Stormlight 5, right?
Maybe.
I thought you said, Brandon said that hopefully Stormlight 5 will force you to recontextualize everything.
I mean, but that to be fair, like we've already had to recontextualize everything 3 or 4 other times. I'm just saying. But this isn't about Stormlight. This is about Mistborn Secret History.
It's just a trend with Brandon. That's all.
That's fair. So, like I said, this one, now I got to look at when Bands of Mourning was published, but I thought they came out at around the same time. And the real, I guess there's a big discussion amongst the fan. Oh, it was published the exact same fucking day, January 6, 2016.
So Brandon just avoided the whole issue of publication order for these two.
Well, avoided the whole, avoided the whole issue, or caused it. I don't know. But yeah. So even like the first page of the story in the Arcane Unbounded version, you read the standalone one this time, so maybe you can tell me. But the first page is that it contains major spoilers for Mistborn Era 1 and very minor spoilers for Bands of Mourning. Did it have that warning page in yours? Or
no?
No, it didn't? Okay, because I know it has that for Arcanum Unbounded.
Okay, I want to back up, give you a brief overview. So a lot of people think that you should wait to read Secret History until after the first book in Mistborn Era 2, which is...
After
the third one. After Mistborn Era...
After the 7th book.
After the 7th.
Or 6th, excuse me, sorry.
After Era 2.
Yeah.
I think that's dumb. Well, I don't think... It's not that it's dumb. It's just, the degree for which things are quote-unquote spoiled...
Well, and that's like...
is negligible. Like, and the story... So, the story of Secret History overlaps with the entirety of Mistborn Era 1.
So that's the first 3 books, Final Empire, Well of Ascension, Hero of Ages.
Yes. So I had actually tried, as we were reading Mistborn Era 1, to kind of keep pace within Secret History. I am not very good at going between books.
I was about to say, I don't think, I never saw you read that one.
And it's not, it doesn't match up super awesomely.
Well, it's hard because like there's long breaks in Secret History where there's just standing around and it's like, all right, well, and then they didn't interact for, a period of time. Yeah. Anyway.
So I tried to do that, didn't really work. I don't think I'm going to try to do that again.
Yeah.
It's just continued familiarity with Mistborn Era 1 does help catch things in Secret History. So I am a fan of reading Secret History right after Era 1 so that the Era 1 story is fresh in your mind.
And you can, see the same events that unfold in both from different viewpoints.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are we even going to talk about the main character, whose viewpoint?
I don't want to.
No, we're going to be that.
Spoiler.
We're going to be that? Okay.
Because if you want to wait until after Era, until after Bands of Mourning, then I think, getting, knowing who the point of view character is for this would be kind of iffy on is it a spoiler or not. Because some people are really sensitive about I saw, certain characters that are world hoppers that make their first...
What does the back of the book say? I didn't even look.
I don't know. I have Arcane Unbounded. Like I said.
I'm going to look this up.
I mean, here. My blurb about what the book is, without going into spoilers, it's about what's going on behind the scenes in Mistborn Era 1 and how, and it relates how the events of Mistborn Era 1 impact the entire Cosmere, whether that's, people on other planets or sentient pieces of investiture, sentient beings made out of magic, things like that. And it's how everybody is impacted by what happens in Mistborn Era 1. Do you agree with that characterization, dear? You're busy looking up.
I was busy looking up, but generally I do agree with most things that you say. I think,
oh, that's not true. Don't lie.
I think maybe the back of the book doesn't even mention it.
But at the same time, well, anyway. So I guess in terms of my spoiler-free review, what I like and don't like about this book, I'm just proceeding on. Oh.
No, I think it does actually mention the back of the book.
I was about to say, and I'm pretty sure the cover art has.
No, the cover art is a flower.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. It's not a certain character walking through mists?
No.
The first edition cover was definitely Kelsier walking through mists. I'm looking up the first edition cover on Wikipedia. Definitely Kelsier walking through mists. Okay.
Okay, but you don't want to talk about it anyways.
That's fair.
Just know that if you were crushed by events in the Final Empire, you want to read this book.
Meh. Not meh. I think the reason why you want to read this book is unrelated to being crushed by events from Final Empire. to me, this book does really well is, all right, so it has some really good character development, and I really like that. The plot is kind of
Character development?
yeah, I think so.
Hmm.
It certainly makes Kelsier more well-rounded. I guess that cat's out of the bag, huh?
I was gonna say, you worked so hard up until this point.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's literally on the cover of the first edition version, so maybe not on yours, but
Okay.
yeah, no, it follows Kelsier. Kelsier's a ghost. He did die. That's not, that happened in Final Empire. He did die. But
Okay, let's just leave it there.
Yeah.
Just leave it there.
yeah, okay.
Okay, so we've established that there is a controversy on your reading order. We've established what our recommendation is.
Yeah. So like I said, in terms of spoiler-free review, I like the character development. I like getting to see Kelsier in this context. We get to see certain, I know he's basically the only character. There's a few others that, I think get some good moments.
And we should also say this is a very Cosmere heavy book.
Yes and no. I want to talk about that. So to me, this is like a trailer for, the books that start to have more Cosmere connections and crossovers. It's really great at building up hype for things like The Lost Metal and Rhythm of War and, to an extent, The Sunlit Man, where there is more, where there's more crossovers.
There's more interaction
Yeah.
among the entire Cosmere.
Yeah, and you get to see how the different magic systems start to interact and how they, yeah.
But I think one of the reasons why I had such a difficult time and a lot of things went over my head on my first read is because it had been a while since I had read a Cosmere book.
Oh,
and
if it's been a while since you read Era 1, yeah.
It had been a while since I read Era 1, and it had been a while since I read Elantris.
Yeah, okay. Well, that kind of segues nicely into the what if you're picking this book up, what should you have read first?
Definitely Mistborn Era 1.
Definitely Mistborn Era 1. And I think there's even a passing reference to someone from the 11th Metal, which is a prequel short story that shipped with a Mistborn RPG and was really meant to be read at any time, was spoiler free for Era 1 and other things. But it's another Kelsier short story.
Oh, with Gemmel.
I pronounce it Gemmel, but I'm sure either one is right.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because there's definitely a passing reference to Gemmel in...
Yeah, Gemmel was mentioned in this.
And
as is Silence in the Forest.
Threnody is mentioned. Silence is not.
Okay, well, I was referencing the only Threnodite-focused Cosmere.
Yeah.
A novella right now is Silence in the Forest of Hells.
Yeah, but there's references to the setting of Shadows for Silence in the Forest of Hell, but not specific characters or events. And you can really kind of intuit from the context clues what's relevant. I think Elantris is more interesting, where our point of view character comes into this totally Cosmere blind. So if you want to be on the same page as, as Kelsier experiencing this book.
For the first read anyways, yeah.
Yeah, then there's no, you'll be on the same page as him about, what's going on with, but there are characters who show up who are Elantrian, who have the same limitations and powers from the magic system from there. They aren't characters from Elantris, the book, but, if you've got, if you understand how that magic system works, you'll have a leg up over our point of view character.
Mm-hmm. I found it really helpful, this read.
Yeah. There's a few other world hoppers that I think were only known through Words of Brandon before this.
Oh, and this is the first time they're on screen.
Yeah, I'm not sure because there might have been some references and things like the notes on the maps in the Stormlight Archive.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think this is their first time that they actually make an appearance on screen in publication order anyway.
Which is very exciting.
It is.
But we'll get into that in later episodes.
Yeah, that's all I had on this one.
I would like to note that while this does cover Mistborn Era 1, that we, emphasized is dystopian all the way through.
Yeah.
This book is not nearly as violent or depressing.
That's because all the, this takes place in...
No, don't say where it takes place. Don't say where it takes place.
Fine.
I just, if you struggled with the setting and stuff with Mistborn Era 1, this is a lot lighter of a read, at least in my mind. It's also much shorter.
I was about to say it's shorter for sure.
Is this actually his shortest novella?
No.
Brandon,
if you talk about novella,
trouble
maybe
keeping it. Brandon has trouble keeping things short.
If you talk about novella, maybe, but I mean, like, the 11th Metal is shorter. There's tons of short stories that are written. Emperor Soul, I'm pretty sure, is shorter. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's on the shorter side, so it's quick to read.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really all I got. I mean, there's really not too much else to know before going into this one. It's, I guess another reason to read it, if you're not sure if you want to, when you want to, things like that, is there is a lot of, fundamentals of the Cosmere that are really discussed and laid bare here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like how, and I'm not going to go anymore. Save it for the next episode, but yeah.
Okay. Let's stop tormenting ourselves and we'll end it there.
All right. Well, thanks for podcasting with me. And thank you, listener, for listening to our podcast. Sorry for the short episode today, but we'll have a non-Cosmere episode next week for The Raven Tower, which is my very favorite book. Our intro and outro music is by the artist Ketsa. It's licensed through Tribe of Noise, and the song is Odyssey.
And until next time, cousins, keep your wits about you.